back. Oh my gosh. So I have been so busy this last 3, 4 weeks. Um just with all kinds of stuff. School, I had midterms. I had a lot of classes I was doing, but for my master's classes, but I ended up dropping a class because I just had too much on my table. So what I'm going to do is we're gonna pick up where we left off, and that's for my master's project. We're setting up this hacking virtual machine environment, and I have basically so for 2 weeks I was trying to get um, a problem troubleshooted. So after our last milestone, I think in the last video we actually were able to do a simulated brute force password SSH crack with some usernames and or some usernames that I found off of LinkedIn that I know work for the company, and just some first names like Mike, Jeff, or whatever. And then I used I used not Rock You, but I can't remember. It was a different word list to crack it, and it worked. Voila, we got in, and we had an SSH into our Ubuntu victim. So we did that. That was pretty fun. Now I was setting up the network or the subnets for the other victim. So I was going to use Metasploitable, but it was beginning to be. I decided, not to use Metasploitable, right? I decided just to use another clone Ubuntu server, right? Which is perfectly fine. It really doesn't matter. Just because it's easier to deal with, right? Than the Metasploitable, I guess. I don't know. I was troubleshooting this problem where I couldn't get the Metasploitable to um, see the other VLNs. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a networking guy, right? I'm learning and learning and learning, but so that's why I want to make this video. I want to show. I fixed it. Obviously, I couldn't make a video for 2 weeks long, right? So I want to just show you guys what I did to get it to work. So I actually got communication from my Ubuntu victim number 2 on VLN 20, and I got VLN 10, my first victim that I'm going to compromise to communicate with my Ubuntu 2 victim in VLN 20, right? So they're different subnets, and like I said, it took me 2 weeks, but I'm going to first show you the problem I was having, and I'm going to show you the stupidness of me, and then I'm going to show you how I figured it out and fixed it, okay? And it was a lot of research, different books. I asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT was help, got me along a little bit. Copilot got me along a little bit. My books got me along basically more, and just research for 2 weeks. So, all right, let's start this. So I've got my VMs running, right? So this is actually the next milestone anyway. So once I've got this running, then I can start working on the video where I actually compromise the. I'm going to compromise. So I already compromised the VLN 10 Ubuntu, right? So here is the first victim, right? Ubuntu victim. I'm going to take the Metasploitable. I'm just going to leave it off. I'm not going to use it anymore. And so I've got the first victim. And then I made a clone, so the Ubuntu victim clone over here for the VLN 20. Right, and I'm going to show you the networking and everything. So if we go to settings, and then you go to network, you'll see that he's on the internal network. He's attached to internal network and VLN 20, right? And then you got to have your cable connected to allow all that stuff, right? So he's on the network, or she, it doesn't matter. And then here's the old one. So we'll go here, network. You'll see that he's on the internet internal network VLN 10, right? And so these are my victims. My PF sense is the same. Um, Let me actually log into the firewall for the PF sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. There goes, what's her name? Let's go ahead and do that. So 192.16. Oh, that's not the one. This has got to have a nub block. So this is my dashboard for that. We got to sign in. Of course, it's going to be the admin. And my password. Right. That's probably wrong. Oh, shoot. Jeez. Okay. So the IP ranges are the same, right? There's the VLN 10, VLN 20. And the firewall, I had to change the firewall completely. So if you followed that first video, just check to see if it's the same. So I had to change a lot of stuff on it, but I changed the firewall because I figured it was the firewall, right? I couldn't communicate from. So after I set this all up, I tested it, right? I set the firewall up. So we go to the firewall rules, right? Firewall and then rules. And I set all this up. So let's go to VLN 10. Here's my rules for 10. I had to change it to allow only the Ubuntu to VLN 20 to communicate, which is what we want to simulate, right? We don't want to simulate something, allow the Kali Linux to scan the network, right? So that's the point of doing subnets. You're keeping stuff safe and separated, right? So I'm trying to simulate that, and then so I'm only allowing device to device, right? And then the people that are accessing this, I guess, server, um, they're using it for, they're using SSH, they have their passwords and stuff. But the point is, they're not setting it up right, right? It's misconfiguration or something. Or anyways, so then we go to VLN 20, and I had to set up the rules like this. So basically, you can pause it, look at it, whatever you want to do. I had to allow VLN 20 subnets to communicate with any destination, right? Just for test purposes. But it really doesn't matter because I only have one other subnet, right? And one other VLN, right? And I could probably take that one. I don't know if I could take that one off or not, but I put all this before I figured out the problem, right? Which was an obvious problem, and it's not. It wasn't really obvious because this is a virtual environment, right? But it kind of was if you understand what things do. Okay, so these are the firewalls and stuff that I set up. If you still have the firewalls that we set up at the start, they should work fine. Okay, because they were doing the same thing. I just did it 16 times. So because I was like, oh, it's got to be the firewall. Okay, why I couldn't? So I was trying to communicate from VLN 10 from the Ubuntu first victim. I was trying to communicate. That's why I put this in. Trying to communicate to my second victim in VLN 20, and I could not. I couldn't ping it. I couldn't do anything, right? And so I'm gonna show you what I did. Okay, so here, and then it just didn't want to work. So I'm gonna show you what I did, and that's what this video is about. So let's go to victim one, right? So victim one, he's on. Let's find out where he's on. So we're gonna come here, and I'm gonna run the basic commands, right? So I want to find out where this guy is. I'm gonna probably do. Um, uh, I mean, I could do ifconfig, right? I mean, obviously, I can do that from the start, and then that tells me, okay, so this guy, he's on this. This is my victim on 10, right? And so his IP, he's the number. He's 102 on 10 VLN. Okay. Um, So let's go ahead and do IP route. So IP route's going to give me where my IP route is, or basically where my route is, right? And so it's showing me, yeah, it's okay. So 192.168.10, and here's where I'm at, right? So let's go to let's do we could do trace route, but I don't have it installed in here, right? So these are the things like this are the things I want to keep it kind of simple because you don't know if trace route is installed on this guy's server, right? On that server, and it usually is, especially if it's a custom built Ubuntu machine. I mean, you got to install this crap. Maybe they didn't, right? Maybe they don't need trace route, right? But because if I try to run trace route, right? Oh man, that's not. Yeah, see, I don't have trace route, so um, I'm gonna have to install it. Okay, so it's not on here. It says right here, sudo app install trace route. This is not connected to the internet, right? And that's another thing. It might not be connected to the internet, so we don't know. Okay, so um, but what was I saying? Okay, so if I want to, so now I want to see. Okay, that's where I'm at. Oh, my gateway. Okay. Also, Ubuntu comes with its own little firewall installed, right? And so I had to undo that first, and let me see what it's called. I can't remember. So let me look at my notes here. I had a bunch of notes. Damn it. Give me a second and let me pull this up. All right. Where's my Bluetooth victim? Okay. Um, let me check and see my notes. Okay, so it's called the UFW. Okay, and it's basically the Ubuntu's internal firewall. It's called the uncomplicated firewall. Okay, and you have to allow that. So what I did was I just we could check the status, and so it's UFW. So sudo UFW, and then we just want to check the status because I've already done stuff to it. Um, so it says that it's inactive. So the status is inactive, okay? Because I took it offline. So to do that, you can look it up and Google what the. I mean, it's just basically sudo UFW. That's what I keep forgetting. It's UFW, right? It's the internal firewall of these Ubuntu systems. UFW enable or disable, right? I mean, it's pretty easy, and I disabled it because I mean, it's not gonna be disabled, but it, if they're allowing in a real scenario, if they're allowing port 22 or TCP or anything like that or SSH, which is port 22 TCP, right? If they're allowing that, they're gonna allow it, right? So they're gonna set it in here, and you could just go, sudo. This is why it's called easy, easy firewall, right? Sudo, the uncomplicated firewall, right? Sudo uncomplicated firewall. What are we doing again? Allow, right? Allow, and I could come in here and do that, right? 22 for 22 TCP and see if that works, right? Um, I mean, it's easy. Sudo allow, allow from, and then put an IP address, right? I mean, you got to look up the commands for it, but it's a uncomplicated firewall, right? So I had to disable that, and you can see it's inactive. So this is, and then obviously we're on the victim one. Okay, the thing is, okay, so even with that, okay, so now that's inactive. In my firewall, I allowed communications from VLN20 to come talk to this. Okay, now here's the thing we have to remember, and this is what I was spinning my wheels on for about 2 weeks, and I went, "Oh my god, how stupid!" Um, if you look at this, when I set this up, this the VM, right? So we go to VM tools, and I remember doing this. This is actually different too. I'll tell you what problem I had with this. This is just crazy. Um, I set this manually, and then I took off my DHCP server. Okay, when you take off your DHCP, you have to remember what DHCP does. It assigns a default gateway and stuff like that. So it does some one of the things it does is it assigns a default gateway, right? But this is all offline. So I took DCP off, DHCP off. I figured I didn't need it because we're not trying to access the internet or anything, right? But when I did that, it also took off it didn't assign any default gateway, and so that's where the problem was. If you when you do this, you're not going to be able to communicate VLN to VLN because there's no default gateway assigned inside these machines, and there's no default gateway assigned in your box. Well, I mean, the default gateway in the box is it's going to just talk to your pfSense, right? But um, there's no default gateway assigned in these Ubuntu's either. I mean, that probably wasn't the problem. I don't know. All I know is that I started doing research and I was like, oh yeah, disabled the HCP, put me down this thought pattern where I was like, oh, okay, so maybe these don't have the Ubuntu machines don't have a default gateway to communicate outside of their LAN, right? So this is really cool about networking. I learned a lot. I learned a lot more, right? That I didn't really know, but in this case, so I had to. Uh, so this is how you have to visualize it. So your LAN is your internal network, right? So that's your God, my brain's not working. Local area network. Okay, so our LAN is our local area network, and so what we did was is we set up all this on an LAN, right? And so VLN10 and my Kali box can communicate with each other because they're on the same local little network, little subnet, right? VLN10. But you still have to have a default gateway on on the on the devices that are on those local area networks if you want them to communicate with other subnets. I I took a networking class, but I mean this is a little subnets goes a little deeper, right? It's and I'm not a network administrator. This is something that I had, but I could research anything, right? This is what we're about. We can learn and research anything. We figure anything out, right? This is our job. And so, but it took me 2 weeks to figure this out off and on. It was like 4 hours a week. So I'm making it seem like it was a long time, but it was like 4 to 8 hours a week. I worked on it a couple days here, a couple days there for 2 weeks. So I would say 16 hours it took me tops or less to figure this problem out. And the problem was I had to just set the default gateway on both the Ubuntu on both of my victims so they could talk to each other. Basically telling them like, okay, here's how you access devices. Here's your door to access devices outside your little LAN, right? And that's it. That's it in a nutshell. And I'm gonna show you how I did that. And um, so that was the main problem. Um, 1 second. I'm texting somebody. And then, okay, so now, so what I did was to figure that out, to troubleshoot it, I did the IP route, right? And then I noticed that the default, so if I do IP route in here, I noticed that, well, what did I do? Didn't have no default. So it didn't have the right default. Is this one not set up? Let me see. So did it not take? Oh, I don't know. What we're about to find out right now. Anyways, yeah. So I had to set the default gateway. Let me check my notes. How did I set this default gateway? Oh yeah, I just added default. Okay, so I just did sudo IP route, and then I just add default. Via, and then I give it the default gateway. In this case, for VLN10, it would just be 192.168.10.1, right? So I had to change the default gateway. Once I changed the default gateway on this, I disabled the uncomplicated firewall on the Ubuntu on 2, and then I set up the default gateway for 2, and then I was able to talk to each other. So if I ping, so let's ping, and we'll give it 4 pings. Why not? Ping 192.168. What was it? 20? 102. I think it's 102. I don't know. Probably not. Let me look to see what the IP address is. And then we'll talk about this, what I had to do for this to troubleshoot that. That was another damn problem. Let's look at the clone. Attack of the clones. No, this is the victim tune, so let's see what. Okay, so 2101. Okay, so it's 2101. I can even do IP route. Yeah. Oh, this. Let's see. Maybe I have to reset it every time. Damn, I hope not. Ping. What the holy Christmas is going on here? Oh, I have to relook at this real quick. Oh, 101. Okay. I was like, damn, I did put 102. Yeah, I might have to set the default gateway every time because it doesn't set it when I shut it off. Oh, name resolution. I hope not. Oh, what the hell? See, yeah, well, maybe, yeah, that it's unreachable, so maybe it's okay that I have to set it every damn time. Yeah, because I don't see anything in there. That's a trip. I do not see it in there. I'm gonna set that sucker up. Um, Yeah, I don't see no default gateway in there. That's a trip. Yup. Huh. It's not gonna let me do it. I have to do it every time. That sucks. I'm gonna look. See, I'm gonna have to still look into that and see how I can fix that. So I'm gonna have to go in and modify the config file or something. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, let's set this up. So, obviously it didn't take. So we're gonna have to set the default gateway a more permanent way. Okay, so let's go ahead and set that up a more permanent way. Um, all right, let's check this out. How the hell we'll do this? Okay, I've got notes on how to do this. Where the hell are my notes? All right, so this ain't working. So let's go ahead and let's do it a more permanent way. So you could just do the set default, but apparently when I rebooted this sucker, it didn't take. So we're gonna do something more permanent, which we're gonna change some config files apparently. So IP adder. Let's see what we have in here. Um, okay, I guess this is what we're looking for. This right here. Oh man. Um, so it says here, OS wants me to look for a net plan. Okay, perfect. That is what I'm looking for. So the YAML file. Let's open that file. So sudo nano etc and Okay. So now I'm in this file, and this controls your. What does this file do? It says this file is. What is this file? What is this net plan? YAML. It's the network configuration system file. So it sets up your network each time it boots. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so let's change this and set it up since we're already in here. Oh god. So network. Okay. This file is generated from information provided. What are we trying to change? DC pool. I'll change that to no. Man, let me take a screenshot of this. Pop this sucker in the Copilot to see what. All right, let's is this my Ubuntu 10? So let's look at my. Yeah, so this is my 20. So this has to be my 10. So I'm in the 10 Ubuntu 10 now. Okay, so DCP4, no. Give me that format. I'm sure that's okay. I don't know if it has to be lined up. See, I don't know about this file that much, but I'm sure it's case damn sensitive. And you know, when you change these damn things, if you don't change them exactly right, your damn VM won't even start up. Oh my god. So you gotta be careful when changing these damn things. I've done stuff like this 1,000 damn times because I like breaking things. Watch me break this. Ah, I didn't know that. Alright, let me take a picture of this and see if this shit is correct. So what I'm doing is I'm taking pictures of this because I've never done it before. And I'm shooting this in the Copilot, or you use whatever you want, but Copilot's, I'll shoot it a picture, and it's like, or ChatGPT, it doesn't matter. It'll, I'm just like, look, I'm trying to reconfigure this file. Is this correct? And then it just helps me out a little bit, right? Um, and it's just a kind of a way to verify before you reset this shit and then it doesn't work. See, this says it needs to be indented and stuff, so. Uh, oh, nice. So, yeah, that makes sense. So, this says it needs indenting. Probably uses some kind of Python code or something I can't stand. Take a picture of this. I mean, you're basically just, I've never set this file up. I don't know what it needs indenting, if it's Python, but this is the stuff you got to do if you don't know, and then I don't feel like reading the damn, um, network. This is ridiculous. Ah, 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 ah. So screwed. Oh, my Lord. I'm just tapping this, man. If this works, I'm going to be amazed. That looks correct. Version 2. Tabbed them all. Let's check that. Take a screenshot of this and verify it. The only thing is, I'm showing you guys this information. It doesn't matter. This is all on the local LAN. I mean, it's nothing private. I'm not giving Copilot anything, any IPs, crazy, any information, so it doesn't really matter. But you probably don't want to. You probably don't want to put personal information on these AI things because then they keep it. Man, it says I did good. Okay, so Control O, and then Enter, and then Control X is exit. Okay, now let's set this sudo so apparently it needed to be aligned like kind of like what do you mean it's been deprecated? I'm gonna take a picture of this bad boy. Feed it to the almighty AI god. See what he says. I think this is just saying that it's oh, default gateway 4 has been deprecated. Damn, I don't like that word. I have to go in and change this. Has been deprecated. Use warning. Gateway 4 has been deprecated. Use default routes instead. See default routes section of the documentation for more. Details, process, blah, blah, blah. And I can look up this process right now. What? So we got to set a default route. Oh, God. Go back into Nano. Okay, so addresses. A freaking dash? I'm sure it is. All right, let's see if that works. So Command O, return, Command X. Just run that same shit. No, not that one. That one. I got the same damn. Oh, I didn't take off the. Fuck. Sorry. I didn't take off the default. I didn't take off the gateway for. Oh, this is fun. I'm gonna take this off. I got some kind of. Still, I got some kind of problem. Yeah, got no problems on that one. So it looked like it took. So I'm gonna grip this and see. Yeah, see there's my default now. Default via 192.168.10.1. Perfect. I don't know why I had to grip it. I could just IP route it. And see now my default's there. So hopefully that looks like it worked. Now I got to do that for the next one. So this now when I reboot this, is Copilot says that it should stick with it because I changed that config file in it in the VM or whatever. So that looks like it worked. Let's go ahead and do that for. Let's go ahead and do that for. Let's see how many seconds we got left on this. All right, let's go ahead and do that for the next one, and then see if we can get them to communicate with each other. And then I'm gonna reboot it, and then see if it sticks. So I don't want to have to do this every damn time, or even set the default, because you can just set it manually every time. I don't want to do that. So let's go to the victim clone. Let's do the same process, right? So the first thing we did was we looked for that file. So sudo nano. Oh no, hold on. We gotta look for the file first, and that file is the to see if we have it first. Right? Is that what we did? What the hell did I ask this guy? Yeah, we gotta see if we can find it. So, um, how did I do that? Did let's check this IP first. I want to see if it's the same. Yeah, it's gonna be the same. Yep, EMPOS3. So we're looking for this first, and it's gonna have it, of course. But I want to practice. We need to find it. Hey, I need that so I can copy it too. I mean, because this is just basically a clone of the other one. Alright. Now let's open this bad boy now. So sudo nano etc net plan, and then the file. There you go. Okay, now we're in here. Now we need to do some. Tab. Version 2. Ethernet's same. We'll just tab it. Usually you just got to light it up and tab it. And that's how basically Python is. Line that stuff up, tab it, just press tab. That's the only thing I don't like about Python. Some people love it. I am not one of those people yet. I'm going to erase this because that's deprecated. Line this up, these addresses. Tab this sucker all the way over here. ADDRESSES. Oh man, there's too many S's in there. ADDRESSES. Yes. Name servers? Name servers. Name servers. Man, my vision's blurring. 4 eighths, comma, space, 4 ones. Okay, routes is going to be EMP, lined up with the DHCP. Oh, hold up. Damn it. That's not correct. Ah, shit. addresses, name servers. One tab. Perfect. Routes should be under name servers. And no, route should be its own route. Its own -2 default. Via son of a bitch. Doing the wrong one. So this one, yeah, it's the same thing. It's just the different VLNs, and it is 101. So let's verify that that's the right address for that. So I have the addresses written down here. This is VLN 20, Ubuntu VLN 20, 101. So that's right, 101. Okay, that's right. So it's 101. Name servers, addresses is fine. Routes to default, and then the default gateway. Yeah, that looks great. So we'll Control O, return, Control X, and then we'll run the sudo net plan is what it says. Net plan generate, and then sudo net plan apply. Alright, now let's IP route. Let's see if it's got the default. Yep. Default via 192.20.1. Now this is right here is our door that lets us communicate outside of our little LAN to the next LAN, right? Or another subnet. This looks correct. All right, now let's I don't know if I have to reset this, but let's try it. Let's ping 192.168. I'm in, what am I in? 20. What did it just say? It was in 20, so 10 dot 101. Nothing. Watch. Damn it. Oh, maybe I gotta reset everything. Maybe I broke it. Oh, I didn't put a 100% pack loss. That didn't work. Let's ping the gateway. So the gateway is set up. Maybe that's just the firewall. So which one am I at? I'm on I'm on, what am I on? Well, I pinged that gateway. Ah, crap. I set this up wrong. God damn it. Okay, so I am on the gateway, so I can ping my gateway. Okay, so let's ping. What number was it? 102. Oh, it is 102. What did I put? The wrong one. 168.102.10. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. So it's working now. We fixed it. So I'm able to ping I'm able to ping the other Ubuntu machine from VLN 20. I'm able to ping my own gateway. I'm able to ping in the VLN. I can tell you where I'm at. IP route. I am in VLN 20. Here's my default. Yeah, this shows that I'm in 20. So yeah, it works. It works. Now we're going to reset everything and see if it. Now let's go to the other one and ping the gateway. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, man, I knew it. What I have? What am I doing wrong? I'm in 110. Repeat route, default, ping. Oh, Jesus. Come on. Let's give it. Let's give it 4 pings. No. Man, damn it. So it's a default set up for that. Hmm. Oh, I don't know why that's not pinging its own gateway, so obviously it's not going to ping. Hmm. That's weird. So I can ping VLN 20, but I can't ping my own gateway? That's weird. Why? Let's look at this. So I'm on 10. 192.168.10.102.24. That looks correct. 102, yeah, that looks correct to me. To default via 110.1 routes to default 192. Is this? No, that looks good. I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. Is it my firewall? But I can ping. I don't know. That's weird. Let me see what's going on with that. Before we reset this, I want to see what's going on. The VLN 10 is 102, yeah. Where the hell's my IP on this? Right here, 102.24. Yeah, that looks correct. Maybe it just needs a reset. I'm just checking everything. So default, yeah, 116. That looks right. Man, I'm getting tired, so maybe I'm just tripping or something. And it's gonna be something stupid. I already know. And let's just check to see. It might, like I said, it might be a firewall rule. So we'll go here. We'll go here, and we'll ping it from here. So let's go to diagnostics ping, and then we'll ping. God damn it! What am I trying to ping? 102. Yeah. Three package receive. Okay, so it's a firewall rule. Let's look at our rules. So VLN10 management, anti-lockout. There's no blocks on here. Oh, there's a block right here. Attacker machine. It's only blocking the attacker machine. This is allowing Ubuntu 10. Huh! Let's check this stupid internal firewall again. Uncomplicated firewall, my butt. It's like, that's not a command. Here's the command list, moron. That's a good way to get your command list. It's inactive. Alright, let's go to. This is pissing me off now. PFSense firewall rules. VLN10. We're going to add. We'll add it to the top. We'll pass it. VLN10. We'll do. We'll do any protocol. VLN10. Go to VLN10. Subnets. And destination. VLN10 subnet. Man, I don't know if I want to do that because then, well, yeah. No, I don't want to do that. Because then, well, no, they could, they can do that anyways. So, should be able to do this anyways. I don't know why I gotta do this. Apply changes. Let's see if that worked. Alright, my trick didn't work. But let's reset this anyways. Maybe it's just because I need to reset this damn. And then I can take that off because I don't think I need that. Okay. Oh, it's working now. It was a firewall rule. So it's just a firewall rule in there for some reason. Now I can ping my gateway. So, which is fine. Let's see if I can ping my Kali box. We'll do it. Anyways, that's all good. So we fixed it. So this is just, we troubleshot this. Now let's I'm gonna restart everything. It takes a second, so I'm gonna stop filming and then I'll restart everything and then I'll get back on. All right, we're back. That only took about 5 seconds. So here's the moment of truth. All right. Sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. Let's see. Like I told you, everything on my channel is live. I mean, this is actually cool that I troubleshot this and, because I thought I had it figured out, which I did, but it wasn't a permanent fix. It was just a quick default gateway set. So we did all that process, ping stuff. So now let's see if I can ping still. So first of all, let's do IP route. If it doesn't show a default, then obviously it's not going to work, right? So let's IP route this. All right, it's moment of truth. Bam! There's our damn default. So we have our default now. Perfect. And it looks correct still. So we are on VLN 10. I have config this. Okay. And here's our IP. All right, now let's ping our gateway first, right? See if that still works. Okay. And that's working. Let's ping. Let's ping. I think it's 102, right? Is it 102? It's 101. Damn it. It's going to give me 4 pings and it's going to stop. Okay. That worked. So I'm able to talk LAN LAN. Okay, so it worked and it took. Man, that's great. I love it. I love when things work. Now let's check and that was from 10. Now let's check 20. Let's run the same things. Let's do IP route. And I mean, these are commands that, what did I say about repetition and practicing rapidity? So doing this research is okay. And, I used ChatGPT and Copilot and all that. I usually use Google. So what's the difference, right? And Google, I'll check stuff, I'll check commands, and I'll check everything on there, and I'll pull stuff. I don't even have to do that anymore with like ChatGPT and Copilot. I love Copilot. I love ChatGPT too, but ChatGPT I use for ideas, to generate me ideas or to help me with my ideas. Copilot I use for instructions. Like right now, I used Copilot. Copilot will just spit me out some stuff that I can try. I mean, not necessarily all going to work, but apparently that config edit worked, right? Because I just typed in there Copilot. I was like, look, tell me how to edit, how to edit the net plan file. When I looked it up, it said I Googled my symptoms and it said that, it could be your config file. And then I asked Copilot to give me a step-by-step on how to edit it. And then I was screenshotting pictures and I was entering it in Copilot and like, is this right? Does this look right? And it was like, yeah, it looks right, or no, you need to indent. And so it just reminded me of like, I have to indent things and stuff now, and that's what I use it for, and it's great. It saves me a hell of a lot of time. So let's IP route that. And so our default is set up correct. It looks like it. And we're on the right net right at VLN. Let's go ahead and IF config just for gets and shiggles. Man, I'm getting tired now. So there's my IP. Okay, now I'm gonna ping my gateway first, right? And Control C stops it because I didn't set how many pings I want. And it looks like I received and lost nothing, so it's pinging that. I can go ahead and ping Um, one. Let's set some pings. -C4. Nah, it wasn't. It was 102. That's going to give me 4 pings and it's going to stop. And that works. So that just pinged the other VLN. So this all works now. And if I shut these off and I turn them back on, it'll work. And I don't have to set my, before I was having a sudo, what the hell was I doing? Default gateway. So I was doing sudo default. I can't remember, but I had to set it every time. And see, I can't remember the command because my brain is not working. But anyways, so I had to set it every time. Now I don't. Okay, so that solves that. Now let's just look at this real quick, and I can go back to the last problem I have. And you might have it if you're following along. If not, I messed something up. So we'll go back into the virtual machine itself, right? Your virtual box or your hypervisor, okay? And we'll go to Network Manager. I had to erase this top one, and anything that I had set, this virtual box host only Ethernet adapter, and then the IP, whatever, right? Anything set, because this is how it communicates, right? Anything set to that name had to be changed. So I had to press create and create a new one, and then I manually set the IP down here, right? And then the network mask, but I had to change it from this to this. Everything, all these devices had to be on this name now. I could not use the same name no more once I removed it. So I removed the one before and I made a new one. It made the same name. And then I was like, all right, that still works. I removed the old one. It's a different IP address. No, you can't use that same name, apparently. It's weird. So I have to look into that. I always have some kind of quirks or something. And I always have some kind of, I figure out some way around it. And how I figured around it was I just made another one and put everything to adapter 2. So now if I look at this Ubuntu and I come here, network, down here, no, not down here. Where the hell? What am I thinking? Anyways, there's one that shows the network too. Anyways, is it here? Yeah, I think it's in this one. So yeah, so it's in my pfSense network. So if I come here, they have to all be on adapter 2 now. Instead of adapter 1, they have to be on adapter 2, the VLNs. Okay? Your host only adapter. Which communicates with everything, right? So that's what you change. All right, that's it. And that was a lot. And I am tired. So I hope you enjoyed this. That was HackTheFile. I hope you enjoyed this. This is this is teaching a lot about networking, right? And if you are wanting to learn more about hacking and stuff like that, you have to learn networking, how it works, and you have to learn. And I'm still learning. And you have to learn command line. And this is what you do when you do projects like this. You're learning networking. You're learning command line. You're learning how to ping. You're learning how to use IP route. You're learning these commands that are essential to be able to traverse through a network when you're learning hacking, right? It's not all about tools and stuff like that. Okay? All right. That was HackTheFile, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you later.